Hey there, Legal Tea listeners. This is your host, Jenny Roselle. Today we're on the estate planning of the rich and famous topic, and for today's episode, we're going to dive into someone that super recently passed away, and it somewhat came out of the blue. Lisa Marie Presley is who today's episode is on. And I say somewhat out of the blue because the day or two before she passed away, she was actually at the Golden Globes Awards show on behalf of a 2022 film about her father, Elvis Presley, which the film was up for and ended up winning an award. And by the way, the film was called Elvis, if you want to check it out. At the show, Lisa Marie was present along with her mother, Priscilla. Just a day or two later, Lisa Marie went into cardiac arrest and died on January 12, 2023, at the age of 54. Now, before we dive into what is going on estate-wise, which there sure is a lot, let's talk a little bit about Lisa Marie as a person. According to her Wikipedia page, Lisa Marie was born on February 1st, 1968, and was the only daughter of Elvis Presley and Priscilla Presley. I don't think I realized that she was the only kiddo. Now, when Lisa Marie was 4 years old is when Elvis and Priscilla decided to get a divorce. And then a few years later, Elvis, her dad, the king of rock and roll, died in 1977 when Lisa Marie was only 9 years old. Following her dad's passing, a last will and testament was discovered, and a rather kind of uniquely drafted one, if I do say so myself. You'll find in the source links for this episode a direct link to Elvis Presley's will. So the way he set it up was that at his passing, a trust, which is often referred to as a testamentary trust, a trust that's created in someone's last will and testament, a trust was set up through his will to benefit Lisa Marie, his daughter, his grandmother, Minnie, and his father, Vernon, and also, quote, other relatives who are in need of emergency assistance. Then, once Minnie and Vernon passed away, the trust continued for the sole benefit of Lisa Marie. And it continued until she turned 25, which at that time the trust would be liquidated and distributed to Lisa Marie outright. So over the course of her life, Lisa Marie was married 4 times and had 4 children. Her first marriage was to a musician named Danny Keough, and together they had 2 children, a daughter, Riley, and a son, Benjamin. 20 days after her divorce from Danny, Lisa Marie married Michael Jackson, yes, the Michael Jackson. They had no children together. Next, she married Nicolas Cage, yes, again, that Nicolas Cage, and that marriage lasted for a very short period of time. I think it was a few months. They also had no children together. Finally, she married a gentleman by the name of Michael Lockwood, and together they had twin girls, Harper and Finley. After 10 years of being married, Lisa Marie and Michael got a divorce. Sadly, Lisa Marie's son, Benjamin, died in 2020. So, at the time of Lisa Marie's passing, she was technically single and had 3 children. Okay, so shifting to Lisa Marie's estate and kind of Elvis Presley's estate as well. So following her dad's passing, she ended up inheriting at 25 years old. So remember, that's when she could inherit outright and free of trust through that trust that her dad had created in his will. That's according to a wealthmanagement.com piece by Anna Solkin. Lisa Marie inherited approximately $100 million in 1993. Now, there are reports that much of her inheritance has been, in the article's words, squandered due to mismanagement and bad investments. Though she appeared to have made some good choices, because according to the website Elvis.com, after Lisa Marie turned 25, she did elect to form a new trust called the Elvis Presley Trust. for the main purpose of continuing the operation of some of her father's estate, like Graceland, for example. Through its setup, a business entity, Elvis Presley Enterprises, was established as well. Then, a few years later, specifically in 2005, Lisa Marie sold a rather sizable interest in the company, the Elvis Presley Enterprises Company, to CKX. But in that sale, she excluded Graceland and the property from that sale. So that means she and the Elvis Presley Trust that she had created retained 100% ownership of Graceland, the property itself, and all of her dad's personal property and contents inside. So what was sold, you ask? Well, what was sold was really, according to the wealth management piece by Solkin, was like the publishing rights to about 650 of Elvis's songs. So it was more like intangible things rather than tangible things. By the way, did you know, speaking of all this Elvis talk, that according to a Forbes article by Kelly Erb, that Elvis Presley is number 4 on the list of highest paid dead celebrities of 2022. Crazy, right? So shortly after Lisa Marie's passing, a representative at Graceland announced and confirmed that Lisa Marie's daughters, Riley, Harper, and Finley, would be the rightful inheritors of Graceland and the financial benefits from it. They further shared that the management and operation of Graceland would remain as is, but the financial benefits of Graceland would be directed through the Elvis Presley Trust and to Lisa Marie's 3 daughters. Just for sake of reference, Riley, the oldest daughter of Lisa Marie, is currently in her early 30s, specifically like now she's 33. And Harper and Finley, the twin girls, are in their mid-teens. Currently they're 14. You know, I think Lisa Marie's estate is a really good one to learn from because she has so many moving parts. Like we just talked about the Elvis Presley Trust that she had created following the passing of her father. And if all goes according to plan, and so far so good, the Elvis Presley Trust will stay out of Lisa Marie's personal estate. And the reason is because assets in a trust are trust held, meaning they are not held in the name of Lisa Marie individually. However, at Lisa Marie's passing, she did have personal assets and debts that will need to be addressed eventually. So let's kind of shift to talking about more Lisa Marie's estate now, like her personal estate, not really the trust from her father. According to Solkin's article, Lisa Marie was having some financial trouble in 2016. And this was made somewhat public in some court filings that occurred in 2016. In those filings, Lisa Marie claimed to have more than $16 million in debt, 16, not 60, 16, including owing the IRS $1 million in taxes. In the same filings, Lisa Marie shared she had about $95,000 in cash, about $715,000 in investments, but also hinted at some rather lavish spending, like to the tune of $92,000 in monthly expenses, which included $23,000 for rent and $2,000 a month in a car payment for her Maserati. You know, 2016 wasn't all that long ago, right? So with these kind of figures, it's likely that Lisa Marie's personal estate administration may get a tad messy, especially because it sounds like she wasn't really managing her finances the best in the world. Solkin shares some insight from a Cynthia Britton, who is an attorney and partner at Carlin and Peebles, a law firm in Los Angeles, California. Britton explains, quote, Lisa Marie's history of financial troubles could certainly slow down the administration process. It's likely in this situation that U.S. estate taxes will be due, and her estate will need to be valued in order to determine her estate's U.S. estate tax liability. End quote. I agree with Miss Britton. Lisa Marie just passed away. So we probably don't even have the beginning drama of what may ensue, especially because, going through a court process, which we'll get to in a second, will very likely open up the can of worms for creditors. So right now we're sort of at like a TBD as to what may happen, estate-wise, estate value-wise, creditor-wise, etc. On that note, as I just shared, even though there's a lot of talk in the news right now about Lisa Marie's will, she actually had a revocable living trust for her personal assets, not a will. I think many news articles are just saying the wrong legal term. But yes, I can confirm she had a trust. It was created in January 1993. And just for clarification, it's a different trust than the trust that she created with what she inherited from her father. According to the Forbes article by Herb, in 2010, Lisa Marie did what's called a restatement, which means that she had some changes to make, and they were made via a restatement, which fully replaces the original document and the terms of that document. Finally, in 2016, Lisa Marie made another amendment, and that's what there is some recent news headline making drama about. Crazy enough, the drama is actually starting from her mother, Priscilla, claiming that the 2016 amendment that Lisa Marie made to her trust is questionable. According to a CNN article by Chloe Malis, Priscilla is contesting Lisa Marie's amendment and questioning the validity of it. In that 2016 amendment, Lisa Marie supposedly removed Priscilla and her business manager, Barry Siegel, as co-trustees and replaced them with her two children, Riley and Benjamin. Of course, if you're kind of keeping dates and stuff straight, this amendment occurred prior to Benjamin's passing in 2020. He's the son that predeceased Lisa Marie. In Priscilla's court filing, Priscilla claimed that Lisa Marie did not inform her about the change, which according to the Forbes article by Herb, she was actually required to inform the trustees of the change, which the trustees at the time were Priscilla and Barry. Priscilla further claimed that the document actually misspelled Priscilla's name, which is a little funky since it was her mom, and that the amendment was not notarized or witnessed. Finally, she further alleged that the legitimacy of Lisa Marie's signature was a little questionable as well. So yeah, she's sure questioning a lot about this 2016 amendment. And that is really the latest happening related to Lisa Marie's estate. And, I'm writing this episode at the beginning of February, so I'm 100% sure there will be plenty more updates on Lisa Marie's estate, her trust, her, the filing that Priscilla made. This case is really causing some waves, and funny enough, while I've been writing this episode, I've had 4 or 5 people reach out and say, hey, if you haven't done an episode on Lisa Marie Presley, it sounds like that would be a good one for your episode, or for your podcast. I told all of them, funny, I'm actually writing an episode on her estate right now. So it's funny that people see this kind of estate stuff, estate drama, and now think of my podcast. I totally love it. This episode is kind of a nice follow-up to a recent episode I did where I talked about informing the people in your plan about your plan, if and only if you feel that is appropriate. I have to wonder if this amendment to Lisa Marie's trust is about to cause World War III. Perhaps Priscilla is a little hurt that Lisa Marie did not keep her in the loop. Or maybe what she's arguing is actually valid and there was some funny business that happened. Who knows? Nonetheless, Lisa Marie's estate, as in where we stand now and probably what we'll learn in the future, is a really good one to kind of get educated on estate stuff. Between the trust holding Graceland, Lisa Marie's trust, etc., there's a lot one can take away and learn about estate planning options, etc., from Lisa Marie's estate. So even though this episode is coming very early in the estate administration process of Lisa Marie, do keep an eye on things. And if you have any questions about, anything you see or what happens, feel free to reach out to me at legaltpodcast@gmail.com. You're also welcome to follow me on social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I'll try to remember to post updates on this case for sure on those social channels. Alrighty, I think we're ready to wrap this episode up. Next week, we're back to a cautionary tale where we talk about real life clients of mine, real life cases that I or my office have worked on. During that episode, we're going to be talking about a common thing that I keep seeing and talking to clients about. And specifically, it's what happens when the attorney that did your estate plan retires or passes away. And this has hit my little world a lot recently. And I even had one recently where the attorney didn't retire or die, but just straight up stopped practicing and went sort of MIA on his clients. I just think it would be really prudent and interesting to chat through this topic here on Legal Tea. So tune in for that next week. But until then, Legal Tea listeners, take care and be well.